Welcome to my tutorial, Storyline 360, working with layers using eLearning Heroes. So we're going to start with adding layers. It's a very basic tutorial, but you want to go down and you want to click that icon right there. You see it'll pop another layer up there and you can rename the layer. So that's the add layer icon right there. Okay, and then you will go to insert. You can do slide layer, and that's another way to add a layer. So I've just shown you two different ways to add your layers, and it's really easy to click on the layer and just rename it to what you want it to be. Now say you want to add a text box, which you could do that. So click on text box and type in some text. I'm going to call this layers, maybe increase the font a little bit, and I'll call this one layers. And there you go. That is how you add some layers. You'll want to give them separate names though, so they can't both be layers. So this is duplicating and copying layers. So what you want to do to duplicate a layer, you can click on it and click the duplicate button down there or icon, and now you see you have two new copies of that. Okay, or you can click there and you'll get additional copies, and then to delete, press the trash can. Okay, so those are other ways, and you can also copy to another slide. Basically, you just click on the layer you want to copy the layer, go to the new slide, and then paste it over there. So it's very easy to do that. Renaming layers. So if you want to rename a layer, which I already showed you how to do, very quickly click on the layer, type a new name in, and you are done. It could not be more simple than that. Changing layer properties. And one thing you'll want to notice is I did change the name of this layer down here because the layer names have to be unique. So I'm going to come back to the base layer part because we'll want to get some more going with our layers before let's skip down to changing layer properties. We have to have some more going on with our layers before we talk about changing the properties. So you can see it demonstrated. So I'll come back to this section. Okay. So this next section is about hiding individual base layer objects. So let's head over to Storyline, and it's really super duper easy. Right now we only have the base layer, and then we have the one layer with the text. So say I wanted to hide that text box, you just come down to the timeline and click the eye, and it will hide that particular layer. Okay, so it's super easy to hide a base layer or a layer. So that's hiding the text that I have on that particular layer. So let's say I was to insert something and add something like, let's do an icon. I'm going to do a happy face icon. Let's put this face on my slide, and let's move it over here. Okay, so now you can see that there's that text box and there's the icon. You can do the same thing and click the icon and hide it as well. So that is a super duper way, easy to hide individual objects on a layer. And if I wanted to, I could take this smiley face here and I could actually make another layer if I wanted to do that. So just know that if you add any of these icons or objects or anything, shapes or anything, you can create layers and then you can hide them or make them visible. So this video is rearranging layers. So let's go in and rearrange some layers. Super duper easy. I love this. To rearrange a layer, you basically want whichever layer you want to move, make sure it's highlighted in the blue, click it, and then slide it down. You'll see happy faces at the bottom now. Say we wanted layer text. Whoopsie, I want that down at the bottom. Make sure it's highlighted in blue and slide it down. And that is all there is to rearranging layers. This clip is all about showing, hiding, and dimming layers in the editor, and it's good for when you have multiple layers on a slide. Sometimes it's useful to show or hide some of them if you are editing a slide. So we got these layers here. We've got the layer with the text, same layers. Then we have the layer with the happy face, and then we have the video. Say, for instance, for whatever reason we want that video up there, we can lock the visibility of this video. And when we move around to other layers, you're still going to see that video. But say you want to dim it because you're doing some other thing. So you can dim that video there. So if we go back to the base layer, you would still see it there, but we've dimmed it out of the way because maybe we want it to work with something else. And remember, you can always bring, so for example, I wanted to insert, you can always bring something in. So if I wanted to bring something like a shape, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, I didn't cover this cell phone or something, I could bring this layer up, insert my shape here so I know that I'm not blocking it. Can't really see my, you can't really see the rectangle anymore, but we know it's there. I put it there. However, if you unlock the visibility, now you can see it, the rectangle there, and it's hiding some of the other things. So remember, you can bring things to the front or send them to the back. So I brought the layers and the happy face to the front. So now we can see them over this layer here, okay? And don't forget, you can go back over here and you can make things visible and invisible as you're working with these layers. So these are just some of the things you can do to make things visible, invisible, send things to the front, bring them to the back, lock different layer visibility so you can see if you don't want things to overlap, because you might set a trigger for one thing to come in at one time and another item or icon to come in at another time. So this will make a little bit more sense once we start talking about triggers, which we're going to get into soon. But I just wanted to show you where all the little buttons were so that you know you can lock and unlock visibility. You can dim and undim your videos and icons and things of that nature in your shapes. And then you can make them seen and unseen. Okay. Hope this helps. And this next section is all about deleting layers, and this is super easy. So if you want to delete a layer, you would just click that layer and hit the trash bin. And it's going to ask you if you want to delete it. You say yes. If you make a mistake, go up there to your undo button, okay? If you want to delete multiple layers at the same time on a Windows computer, you hold the control and then you left click. You can put all of them in the trash at the same time. And again, if you make a mistake, just go back, okay? Hope this helps. In this video, we did a quick e-learning heroes tutorial on Storyline 360 working with layers. And this is so basic. There's so much more that can be done with layers, but this will at least give you an introductory idea of where to find things, how to add, duplicate, copy, rename, change layer properties, which we will come back to, hiding individual base layer objects, rearranging, showing, hiding, dimming, and deleting layers.